Cindy and Jim here from OUTAPocket, and today we're talking toilets.
If you've seen some of our previous videos, you may already know that we hijacked the toilet cabinet to fill it with batteries and electronics.
Which means the compartment that we have available now is much smaller, and we needed a smaller toilet. The toilet that comes with the Pocket is too big for that space. So we did some research and discovered that not only are there smaller toilets, but there's different options for toilets that we kind of like better.
So today we're going to walk through our toilet versus the original toilet, show you how they compare, how they're different, and why we like the new one.
So let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
All right. As you know, the 36A Pocket does not have a standard bathroom. It doesn't have an installed toilet. It relies on a portable toilet. In this case, they provide the Thetford Porta Potti Model 345 cassette toilet. A cassette toilet basically means that it collects all of the waste in one area that you can take it out, dispose of it, and put it back in. It uses chemicals to control the smell. When we were looking around for a smaller toilet, one that would fit in the cubby that we had available to us, we came across the Trelino composting or separating toilet. This toilet separates the solid and the liquid waste. They're not stored in the same place, and they're disposed of individually. It was a lot cleaner, didn't use any chemicals, and it was the right height. So that's why we went with this Trelino. It's the EVO size small. It's only 11.7 inches tall. It's 13 inches wide and 15.6 inches deep, which was exactly the right size. It's like it's made for the Pocket. It also comes in white or gray. As you can see, we went with the gray because seriously, the white just screams toilet. And I don't need everybody that comes into this van to say, oh yeah, well, there's your toilet. This is gray. It blends. People might think it's a cooler or a storage container. And they'll be in for a shock if they try to get a beer out of it, but whatever. A cassette toilet operates like a regular toilet, which means it flushes, which means it needs 3 gallons of water in the upper freshwater reservoir for flushing, and it needs about half a gallon of water in the bottom cassette. A composting toilet or a separating toilet does not flush, and so doesn't need any water. Water is a precious commodity when you live in a van. With a cassette toilet, you lift the lid, you do your business, you open the little slide, everything pops down, you use this to pump water in to flush, close, and everything's sealed away. With a composting toilet, you do have to raise the lid. That's where the similarities end. With a composting toilet, the liquids are directed to the front and the solids are directed to the back. I'm going to take the top off to show you how it looks. Like that, right? And so underneath, in this toilet, you have a bucket for the solid waste. Before our use, you have this lining the back bucket. Really easy to install. And you put in about a cup of an absorbent material like kitty litter, peat moss, sawdust, and that will help to dry out the solid waste and drastically reduce any smell. In the front, there's this handy little carry case, and this is wonderful. It's where all the liquid waste is directed. It goes into this holding container, and it passes through this membrane. This membrane helps to prevent any kind of splashing while you're driving, and it keeps all odors securely within this container. With a cassette toilet, you have to detach the two sides in order to get to the mess inside the cassette. So you pull the little lever, you separate them, which I don't do well. Once you've separated the two, you take this to where you're dumping out the waste. It comes out the same tube that you initially put the water in. So you get that out, uncork it, depress this to get air in the system, empty it, right? Then pour more water in swish it around, empty it again, then, and I would absolutely have to clean this because I can't imagine. Everything just came out of that. You'd have to put more water in to reload it, more chemicals in to reload it. Then you have to reassemble it again, which I have no good luck with at all. Oh, it might be. Yes! Then you open up the water reservoir, pour in 3 more gallons of water, and you're ready to use it again. With a composting toilet, when you have finished your business and it's time to dispose, you just remove the bag, tie it up, and dispose of it where you would dispose of any dog waste or diapers. And when it's time to dispose of the liquid waste, you just roll up on the little container, take off the piece with the membrane, put on the handy carry lid. I like to put this into another bag, kind of discreet. And you can take it with you to any toilet and just empty it into a regular toilet and flush it away. In a cassette toilet, there's a lot of odor because the liquids and the solids are combined and stored. So they use chemicals to try to control that odor. Obviously, you don't need multiples of all these products, but that's an awful lot of chemicals to store on a little tiny van like this one. In a composting toilet, all you need is a little diluted vinegar solution. Swish it into the liquid waste area, and you're done. The solid waste gets bagged up and thrown away. No chemicals required. When it comes to replacing the liner in the back bucket, you have a few options. You can use the bags that come with the Trelino unit itself, which absolutely crack me up. They're worth it just because of that. You can also use a composting bag, or you can use what we use. We use this wag bag that you get from REI. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything you need for the liner. It has an outside bag that you would dispose of it, an inside bag that's the actual liner you put in here, and that has a powder in it that congeals the liquid waste, helps to dry out the solid waste. It also comes with a little toilet paper and a little handy wipe, so everything you need is in one place. One more quick note about the Thetford in the documentation that comes with the unit. When it's talking about adding water, fresh water to the upper tank, the picture indicates that it's adding some kind of chemical along with it. When I was researching this, online they have a full manual, and it says in the manual you should not ever put chemicals in the freshwater tank on top. Just a word of caution. And now for the reason why we went looking for a new toilet in the first place. It had to fit in the only cubby available to put the toilet since we use the other cubby now for batteries. The Trelino is super light. It doesn't ever get any heavier. It doesn't have gallons of water in it. And it fits in this cubby. Just slip it right in. One thing to note, when you pull this out of the cubby, you really have to hold up the back side of it to keep it from tipping so that it touches the top. Because as you can see, it is just big enough. These handles help you to guide it right out.
Good job on that one, Cindy.
Thank you.
I have to admit, I've never used either toilet.
No, you haven't. I've never used the cassette toilet. It icks me out.
I know. This was a great replacement for it, I think, and a big upgrade.
It's easy, it's light, it's clean, it never smells. It doesn't smell like chemicals or anything else.
When I do need to use it, and I'm sure the time will come, I also will not need advanced training.
Which is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
We really like this solution. It's a little less icky, it's a lot cleaner, and a lot easier on the road.
We hope you guys enjoyed comparing our upgraded toilet to the original one that came with the Pocket, and you found the information useful.
And as always, if you did, please feel free to like and subscribe and drop us a comment if you have any other questions.
Till then, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.